Friends, we will continue with section 234C. What is this section 234C is? Already we studied the topic of advance tax, wherein we learned that in case of corporate SSEs, advance tax need to be paid in 4 installments, and for non-corporate SSEs other than companies, they require to pay in 3 installments. In case if there is any shortfall in making such payment, then interest is to be paid. Now, what is the name that we are giving for this? Because earlier 234A interest, we said this is the interest for default in furnishing the return. 234B, it is the interest which you are paying for default in payment of advance tax. Now this 234C is the interest for deferment in installment of the advance tax. See, for non-corporate SSEs, the interest is going to be calculated for 3 months, 3 months, 1 month, because they require to pay first installment by September 15th, next installment by December 15th, the last installment by March 15th. So in that context, if there is a delay that is happening, then they are asked to pay 3 months, 3 months, 1 month interest. Whereas for the corporate SSEs, they are having 4 installments, and if there is any delay in making the payment, or there is a shortfall in what they have paid, then the interest is to be computed as 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 1 month. Of course, the beautiful part of 234C interest, what I observed is, unlike your 234A and 234B, which need to be computed as and when there is a obligation to pay the tax. Like at the time when you are paying the self-assessment tax, you are computing 234A, 234B interest. On receipt of intimation, sometimes we may require to calculate. On regular assessment, we require to again calculate as and when there is a change in the assessed income. But that is not the case with the 234C. That is, you are going to compute at the time when you are making the payment of self-assessment tax, and that also you are going to calculate by considering what? Not the assessed one, assessed tax, returned tax. That's the reason why subsequently, even if there is a change in the tax assessed, either by way of intimation under section 143(1) or 143(3) or 144 or 147, you don't find extra interest to be paid on account of 234C. Now this gives rise to a question like, sir, that means if I show lesser income tax obligation through my return of income, I will be able to reduce my 234C interest. Is it so? Because you are saying 234C interest is to be computed only on returned income tax and in that situation, my answer is yes, you can have a lesser burden in 234C by showing a lesser income tax obligation through the return of income. But friends, please do remember, consequential effects will be what? Consequential effect will be, then it amounts to undisclosed income. When you will be able to show a lesser this thing, when you are not disclosing a part of your income, subsequently if they are going to found it, then much more dangerous is the penalties. And in any case, at a subsequent date, once the assessed income is going to be more than your returned income, your 234B will be, because 234B interest is going to be computed from 1st of the April of the relevant assessment year till the date of your assessment and all. From the computation point of view, yes, I can say 234C is a lesser complicated compared to 234A or 234B. Compared to 234C and 234A, the complex part of it is only in computation of the 234B interest. So with this background, let us go through the section 234C in detail. But in this context, you have two things. One is for the non-corporate SSEs, how do you calculate? And for the corporate SSEs, how do you make this computation? Right now, section 234C. Section 234C. Mandatory and penal, of course, better we use the word compensated. Mandatory and compensated interest. Mandatory and compensatory interest under section 234C. Of course, what for you are paying this interest, friends? Write down, this is a interest for deferment in installment. Deferment in an installment of advance tax. So first what we do is we take up for the non-corporate SSEs. Write down, for non-corporate SSEs. Side heading, chargeability. Chargeability. When the obligation comes, that is, interest is payable. Interest is payable if A, advance tax paid on or before 15th September is less than 30% of tax due on 30% of tax due on returned income. Next, B, advance tax paid on or before 15th December is less than 60% of the tax due is less than 60% of the tax due on returned income. On returned income. Then C. Advance tax paid. Advance tax paid on or before 15th March. On or before 15th March is less than 100% of the tax due. 100% of the tax due on returned income. Then friends, lastly D, no advance tax has been paid by the SSC. D, no advance tax has been paid by the SSC. Now we are saying tax due on returned income. How to calculate that tax due on returned income? Write down the side heading. Tax due on returned income means. Tax due on returned income means. That is tax on total income declared. Tax on total income declared in a return of income. Declared in a return of income, ROI. Less relief under section. Less relief under section 90/98/91. Less MAT credits. Less MAT credit under section 115 JAA. Less TDS/TCS. So the resultant amount will be, the balance amount will be tax due on returned income. The balance will be the tax due on the returned income. Then friends, how do you make the computation part of the interest? Already I explained it is 3 months, 1 month you require to calculate the interest. So 3 times interest. Of course, only for shortfall is there. Write down computation of interest. Computation of interest. Computation of interest. A. Rate 1% per month. Period 3 months. Amount 30% of tax due on returned income. 30% of tax due on returned income less advance tax paid. Less advance tax paid on or before 15th September. On or before 15th September. Then B. Again, rate 1% per month simple interest, 1% per month simple interest, period 3 months, then amount 60% of the tax due, 60% of the tax due on returned income, less advance tax paid, on or before 15th March, Then friends, here the noteworthy points would be, write a small note. In case where SSC failed, to furnish a return of income, then interest under section 234C, shall not be applicable, since the interest under section 234C is based on tax due on returned income, Right, friends. Now what we do is, we will do problems based on what we understood. Of course, now we are going to do the problems which involves both, that is all the three, 234A, 234B, 234C also, so that it helps us to relearn 234A, 234B and continue with the new learning on 234C. Write down. For the assessment year 2010 and 11. For the assessment year 2010 and 11. A partnership firm whose due date for filing return of income is 30th 9 2010 files the return of income on 3/12/2010 Next, the income declared in the ROI, is rupees 2,17,420. Is rupees 2,17,420. And the following details are given. TDS 10,000. Advance tax paid on 15/9/2009, 15/9/2009, 15/12/2009, 15,000. Then 15/3/2010, 15,000. Then friends, the firm pay the tax. And interest. Correctly under section 140A. On 3/12/2010. Then the assessing officer assess the income. At rupees 3,26,130 under section 143(3). On 30/6/2011. So friends, here try to understand, it's a two-phase. What is this two-phase? First you need to calculate 234 ABC interest at the time when the self-assessment tax is to be paid under section 140A. Again, you have to compute these interests at the time when the demand is coming, because your assessment is getting completed under section 143(3). So how we go about looking at it? First, the whole lot of computation we do about the interest when the self-assessment tax is going to be paid under section 140A. Write down. Payment required to be made under section 140A. Now take your calculators first. It's a partnership firm, friends. So if income happens to be 2,17,420, what is 30.9% of 2,17,420? Calculate and tell me. 67,183. Write down. Tax as per per return of income. Tax as per return of income 67,183. 67,183. Less TDS 10,000 rupees, 10,000. Thereby it makes to 57,183. Less advance tax paid. Less advance tax paid. 45,000. Thereby income tax payable. Income tax payable. So at the time when you are paying the self-assessment tax under section 140A, income tax payable is what? 12,183. For this shortfall, you require to calculate 234A, 234B. Why 234A is coming into play? Because the due date for filing the return happens to be 30th/9/2010. The SSC actually paid the return on 3/12/2010. So how much of the delay is there in filing the return? 10th month, 11th month, 12th month, 3 months or 3 days only, but even a part of the month you should consider it as a full month. So in that context, write down, add interest under section 234A, add interest under section 234A. What is it, friends? On how much you are going to calculate? 12,183, but you will be rounding it off for the purpose of interest calculation to 12,100 only. In the inner column, 12,100 into 1% into 3 months. 363. Similarly, add interest under section 234B. Add interest under section 234B. How do you calculate, friends? Here also the point here is 234B interest. Under what circumstance you require to pay the 234B interest? If you are not paying the advance tax, or what the advance tax you paid is less than 90% of that tax due after reducing the, what is it, your TDS. So on 57,183 you calculate 90%, madam. 57,183, what is it? Tax on return income less TDS. What is the balance? 57,183 ke upar, if you calculate 90%, it works out to be how much? Whereas the total advance tax is that firm is paying is how much? 45,000. So your actual advance tax paid is less than the 90% of the advance tax requirement. So in that context, 234B interest comes into play, and once 234B is applicable, you require to calculate 234B interest from which date to which date? From the 1st of the April to the date of your paying the self-assessment tax. See, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November and December. That means 9 months, 3 days means 10 months. Or 8 months. 8 months, 3 days, not 9 months. 8 months, 3 days. So it works out to be 9 months. Because it is December now. So April to November, 8 months. December by 3 months means 3 days means totally 9 months interest you have to calculate. Calculated interest under section 234B. One, that is 12,100 into 1% into 9. it works out to be how much? 1089. Then friends, now we come to the crucial part. What is it? 234C interest. Now, add interest under section 234C. Add interest under section 234C. Here 3 times interest. Of course, provided it is really shortfall than what they are expecting us to. A 1% into 3 months, 1% into 3 months into brackets 30% of 57,183. What is 57,183? Tax on rented income less TDS. So 57,183, 30% of 57,183 minus by 30th September how much? 15th September how much he has paid the advance tax? 15,000 minus 15,000. What is it? 1% into 3 months into brackets 30% of 57,183 minus 15,000. See, 30% of 57,183 comes to how much? 30% of 57,183. 17,155 minus 15,000 is equal to 2,154. So 2,100 you take and 2,100 into 1% into 3. So that it all works out to be 63. Then B 1% into 3 into brackets 60% of 57,183 minus up to 15th December how much they have paid totally. Earlier 15,000 plus now 15,000, totally 30,000. 30,000. So that and all works out to be 57,183 into 60%. That works out to be 34,309 minus 30,000 is equal to 43,098. So you have to take 43,000 and on that 4,300, not 43,000, 4,300 into 1% into 3. That is 129. Then C 1% into 1 month into brackets 57,183. 100% of 57,183 is 57,183 minus 45,000. So 57,183 minus 45,000 works out to be 12,183. But we have to take the nearest 100, not the farthest 100. Nearest 100 is 12,100. So 12,100 into 1% into 1 month. That works out to be 121. Only 1 month last. So put together how much you are getting, both the tax as well as interest payable under section 148. That is, take your calculator, 12,183 plus 363 plus 1089 plus 63 plus 129 plus 121. 13,948 is the point. So successfully we completed how to calculate 234A, B, C and at the time when you are paying the self-assessment tax under section 140A is the point, friends.